Mother Teresa was canonized in 2016 and is one of the greatest saints of all time. Many know about her selfless work for the poorest of the poor in Calcutta, India, but this video will explore some of the maybe lesser known aspects of her extraordinary life as well. She was born the youngest of 5 children in 1910 to very devout Catholic parents who raised her in the faith. When she was 8, her father died suddenly, and the family experienced serious financial difficulties. At 12, she felt a divine calling to serve the poor, and at 18, she left her mother and family to pursue the religious life as a nun, and a year later moved to India. At 27 years of age, she made her final vows and became known as Mother Teresa and spent the next 11 years in Calcutta, India. At 36, she received a call from God. She described it this way: I heard the call to give up all and to follow him into the slums, to serve him in the poorest of the poor. I knew it was his will and that I had to follow him. There was no doubt that it was going to be his work. She further stated that it was a call within the call to quench the thirst of Jesus for souls serving the poorest of the poor. The theme of Jesus' thirst on the cross became everything to her, to both serve and also to encounter Jesus hidden in what she called the disguise of the poor. She discussed her calling with her spiritual director, Father Exum, who gave her permission to involve the Archbishop. Father Exum and the Archbishop intensely tested Mother Teresa for 2 years to ensure her calling was of God, and finally granted her permission to proceed. So then began her work of caring for the poor by dressing their wounds, listening to their stories, providing them food and shelter, established schools and orphanages, and treated them as if they were Jesus. Her team grew to 12 that first year, and they used abandoned buildings and rundown shacks as makeshift homes and clinics, relying on donations to fund their efforts. Her missionary reached Venezuela, Rome, and Tanzania in the 1960s when her missions of charity was established. Many other missionary efforts were spun off of her efforts throughout the 70s and 80s, and by the time of her death in 1997, her missionaries of charities grew to 4,000 across 610 foundations and 123 countries. What is even more remarkable is that after her death, some of her private writings were revealed, and it was discovered that she experienced a complete loss of God's presence, which many would consider a curse, but rather she viewed it as a blessing, so that stripped of every selfish motivation, her unshakable faith and divine hope in Jesus and his thirst would be all that she would need and rely on. A truly remarkable saint that we should turn to as an intercessory anytime we feel that God has abandoned us. He hasn't. And Mother Teresa can pray for you to know that deep in your heart and mind, God is with you.